Hello all, I am recording this video. Number one, I apologize if I look super tired and I'm like getting kind of sick, so I wanted to record it and get it out the way. And I am recording this video to talk about my C-section experience versus my natural or vaginal birth experience. And which one would I choose again if I were to have another baby? So, number one, a little history. My C-section ended up being an emergency C-section. So, I just want to start off. One of the pros for C-section is that you do know when your baby's coming. You can plan a lot easier, and you know I'm going in the hospital on this day, and the process is usually like not long at all. So you're not induced or anything like that. But with my C-section, I ended up having a long labor and then having an emergency C-section at the end of it. So I would say that a con of having the C-section is it is having major surgery. So you are at risk for a lot more pathogens in the hospital than you would be if you were to have had just a vaginal birth. But as far as recovery, you are again having major surgery, and the recovery time for me wasn't that long. And a pro of it, now that I know after my second birth, which was VBac, vaginal birth after C-section, that no business goes on downstairs, so you pretty much are clearing that area. So you're just waiting on like your stitches to heal or your staples, whichever, to come out, and that's the end of recovery. But I would say another con on the C-section is that afterwards you are on a lot of painkillers, like, so that is if you're breastfeeding. One of my concerns was it crossing the barrier and going into my breast milk, and in general, the pills that they gave me, I think some of them were Percocet, and if you've ever had Percocets, they're really strong. So, I don't know, some people might call that a pro or a con. For me, it was a con because I didn't like the way it felt as much. And a con was that I kind of felt like I didn't get the full experience of giving birth because I ended up having the C-section. Okay, so for my natural, I'll put air quotes to natural because natural means different things to different people. Some people think natural means like I didn't have any drugs, and I definitely had the epidural. I actually had more than just the epidural. Before the epidural, I had two mild, I guess you would call them sedatives before, so I can prolong until I got the epidural because I didn't want to get it like so soon. So I waited until I was about between 5 and 6 centimeters till they said you either have it now or you can't have it anymore. But as far as that, I would say that pros were, of course, that I got to experience the natural birth. So if I were to have to choose again, I would choose the postpartum part. I would definitely choose how it went after C-section because that was a lot easier for me, except for the few cons I mentioned. But as far as the whole birthing process, I would definitely choose the vaginal birth again because I did immediately get to experience holding my baby as soon as he was born versus me having to watch and them having to finish my surgery while my baby's gone. And so I did end up getting to bond a lot faster with the second. But I kind of tricked you guys because, in all honesty, if I were to have a third baby, I wouldn't choose how either of those processes went. Now, I'm saying this just because it's a hypothetical, like if. I would probably try to have, again, birth plans usually go out the window, but I would try to have a all natural, and I mean really natural in the sense of no drugs, water birth. Because I've heard a lot and seen a lot of positive things about water births. And in my delivery room, the second time, there was a tub there, and at the hospital you were allowed to have water births, but it didn't kind of even cross my mind to do that because I was coming from already thinking that I was going to have a C-section, and then going into the hospital and them letting me labor. So it was already this whirlwind of changes, and it didn't even cross my mind to say, maybe I should try and have this water birth. But I definitely would try that if I had the choice again. So maybe down the road we might decide and I'll get to test that out. But for now, it's probably not happening. I did at the end include some pictures for you guys to see of both my C-section process and my natural birth, or again, air quotes, natural birth process. Some of them might be a little graphic for some people as far as the C-section, because you are seeing like the surroundings of a surgical procedure. But stay tuned if you want to watch them, and don't forget to like and